Scammers are now using ChatGPT to fake car crashes, forge receipts, and stage entire insurance claims. And in many cases, the images are so realistic, they're getting away with it. This video breaks down exactly how they're doing it using GPT-4o's new image tool, why it's so hard to detect, and what industries are doing in response. Stick around till the end to see how this new AI-powered scam industry is evolving fast, and what it could mean for the future of visual proof, digital fraud, and AI accountability. Pixel-perfect fraud. In June 2024, a post on the subreddit r/ChatGPT began circulating across social media. The user claimed they had used GPT-4o's image generation feature to fake a photo of a BMW with rear-end collision damage. The AI-generated image reportedly included realistic details: scratches, bent panels, broken lights, and even lighting conditions that matched a typical parking lot. The post described how the image was convincing enough to be submitted as part of an insurance claim. That post was later removed, and it's unclear if the insurance company involved actually approved the payout. But it triggered widespread discussion across Reddit and AI ethics forums. Experts began warning that AI tools like GPT-4o could pose a new risk to industries that rely heavily on photo evidence, including auto insurance, warranty claims, and product return policies. The reason this works is because most modern claim systems are built around visual documentation. A few clear photos of damage are often enough to initiate or support a claim. GPT-4o's ability to simulate depth, shadows, and texture makes these forgeries extremely difficult to identify at first glance, especially when combined with legitimate metadata, like a timestamp or GPS location. Scammers now have a toolkit to fabricate highly realistic visuals that would have previously required advanced Photoshop skills. The scam menu just got bigger. The misuse isn't limited to car damage. In several online communities, including Discord servers and forums focused on side hustles, users have described using generative AI to fabricate damaged product images for e-commerce refunds. For example, a user orders an item from Amazon, waits for it to arrive in good condition, and then uses AI to create a fake photo of the item cracked, dented, or broken. The photo is then submitted along with a refund request. This tactic has been documented before using manual editing tools, but GPT-4o drastically reduces the barrier to entry. With just a few prompts and one or two uploaded photos, users can create contextually believable damage scenes, complete with realistic reflections, packing material, and even environment-specific lighting. There have also been claims that GPT-4o is being used to generate fake receipts. While most refund fraud in the past involved scanning and altering PDFs, GPT's multimodal abilities allow users to visually replicate printed receipts and even embed custom text inside real-looking store formats. These images can then be submitted to customer service teams as proof of purchase or refund requests. What's more concerning is that these tools are being paired with ChatGPT's text capabilities. A user can generate a fake image and then immediately use ChatGPT to draft a convincing email to a customer service department, complete with dates, order IDs, and a plausible story. The fraud becomes faster, more accessible, and harder to detect. Insurance and e-commerce industry in panic mode. These emerging patterns have triggered concern among professionals in both the insurance and retail sectors. According to a July 2024 report by the Coalition Against Insurance Fraud, the use of AI in staging or enhancing fraudulent claims is now considered a growing trend, though exact case numbers remain difficult to quantify due to underreporting and lack of detection tools. Fraud analysts at several firms, including Allstate and State Farm, have acknowledged the challenge in interviews given to Reuters and NBC News. While there's currently no confirmed public case of a payout being approved solely based on an AI-generated image, multiple insurers are now updating their claims processing systems to add more layers of verification. This includes manual review of photos flagged by AI detection software and cross-checking metadata. In the e-commerce space, companies like Amazon and eBay have not made public statements specific to GPT-4o, but internal policies around returns and visual documentation are reportedly being reviewed. A former Amazon support agent, speaking anonymously to Business Insider in August 2024, confirmed that refund fraud using suspiciously consistent images had become more common and harder to catch. The financial risk is significant. The National Insurance Crime Bureau, NICB, estimates that insurance fraud across all categories costs the U.S. more than $300 billion per year. AI-generated evidence could increase this figure if not addressed. The true impact may not be felt immediately, but as these tools become more powerful and user-friendly, more sophisticated scams are expected to surface. And because most image verification systems were built to detect compression artifacts or Photoshop patterns, not AI-generated pixel patterns, they are already lagging behind. Why it's so hard to detect AI fakes? Detecting AI-generated images isn't as easy as spotting a Photoshop job. That's because GPT-4's approach is fundamentally different. Instead of pasting or altering existing images, it builds visuals pixel by pixel, generating them from scratch based on a prompt and optionally reference images. This means there's no duplication, no clone textures, and none of the typical signs used to identify tampering. Most forensic tools are trained to flag anomalies in lighting, metadata inconsistencies, or common digital editing artifacts. But GPT-4 doesn't leave behind obvious digital footprints. The shadows, reflections, and spatial depth all behave the way a real photo would. The AI also adapts to context, understanding not just the shape of a car's bumper, but how damage would realistically distort it under specific lighting conditions. Reverse image searches offer no help either. Since the image is entirely unique and wasn't pulled from the internet, it doesn't exist in any database. It's a new original creation. And because there are no watermarks or compression signatures, traditional detection tools have nothing to latch onto. This raises the bar for verification. While researchers are working on detection models trained specifically to flag AI-generated visuals, those tools are still in development and far from perfect. For now, many fraudulent images can easily slip through, especially when paired with convincing context. Legal gray zones and artistic theft. The popularity of GPT-4's image tool exploded partly because of its ability to create stylized visuals that closely resemble the look of famous animation studios, particularly Studio Ghibli. These dreamy, hand-drawn aesthetics made millions of users share their AI portraits online, framing it as a form of creative fun. But it has also triggered serious legal and ethical questions. Copying a visual style, like soft brushwork, warm palettes, or whimsical landscapes, is not technically illegal. U.S. copyright law protects specific works, not generalized aesthetics. This means users can generate Ghibli-like art without violating any laws. But the situation gets more complicated when users begin to replicate recognizable elements from copyrighted content, like specific characters, logos, or frames. As of now, there are no major lawsuits targeting individual users for AI-generated Ghibli-style images. However, copyright scholars and legal experts have raised alarms about how generative AI is pushing the boundaries of intellectual property. The concern isn't just about mimicry, it's about mass-producing derivatives at scale without consent or compensation. Studio Ghibli co-founder Hayao Miyazaki voiced strong disapproval of AI art years ago, calling it an insult to life itself. His criticism highlights a wider debate among traditional artists who see AI as bypassing the years of craft and discipline required to master the medium. So far, enforcement remains weak. Lawmakers and courts haven't caught up, leaving a gray zone that's ripe for exploitation. And as AI models get more advanced at mimicking art styles, that gray area could quickly turn into a legal battleground. OpenAI's balancing act. As these concerns mount, attention naturally shifts to OpenAI, the company behind GPT-4. OpenAI has positioned its tools as a way to expand human creativity, making it easier for anyone to write, draw, or design. And in many ways, it has succeeded. GPT-4 is a powerful tool, not just for artists, but for businesses, educators, and researchers. But with growing reports of misuse, OpenAI now faces increasing scrutiny over how it manages the dual-use nature of its products. As of April 2025, OpenAI has not released detailed public guidelines specifically addressing the misuse of its image tool for fraud. The company's general usage policies prohibit deceptive activity and illegal use, but enforcement remains largely reactive. Most moderation depends on user reports or downstream platforms identifying harmful behavior. This raises the question, who's responsible when AI tools are used for forgery? The user, the platform, or the developer? While some platforms like Midjourney and Stability AI have built-in filters to restrict violent or explicit content, filtering fraud-related prompts, like "make this product look damaged," is harder to automate. That's because the same image tool could be used for a legitimate purpose, like concept design or animation. So far, OpenAI's approach has leaned toward access and experimentation, but the pressure to address misuse is growing. Whether that leads to stricter content moderation, watermarking systems, or legal frameworks remains to be seen. Are we ready for what's coming? What we're seeing now may just be the beginning. As tools like GPT-4o become more powerful and widely available, we're entering a phase that some cybersecurity analysts are calling the rise of forgery as a service. It's no longer just about someone faking a photo for personal gain. Online communities are beginning to organize around shared tactics. Prompt templates for generating fake damage, refund requests, or even realistic ID cards are being passed around in semi-private Discord channels and forums. In some cases, users are even offering pre-made AI-generated visual packages for others to use, essentially turning fraud into a product. At the same time, AI models continue to improve. As of Q2 2025, GPT-4o remains state-of-the-art, but OpenAI and other companies are already testing newer models that can integrate video, simulate 3D environments, and generate interactive content. Each upgrade introduces new creative potential and new risk. The core challenge here isn't technical, it's societal. Many industries, from insurance to e-commerce to content moderation, are still relying on verification systems built for an internet that existed before AI-generated forgeries were possible. Without rapid updates to detection frameworks, training protocols, and regulation, these systems could be overwhelmed by fake evidence. And if trust erodes too far, even real documentation may start to lose value. The deeper issue is psychological. If fake images become indistinguishable from real ones, people may begin to question all visual evidence, and that leads to a chilling scenario. What happens when you can't tell what's fake anymore? Not even with your own eyes. If you've made it this far, let us know what you think in the comment section below. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.